Hello, everybody. What is going on? Hi. We're going to talk about all of the new things that we got in Sun and Moon. More of a detailed announcement. I'd like to do a live reaction first. If you can go check that out. Check that out. I freaked the fuck out, kind of. And then we're going to talk about now the breakdown, the analysis of essentially everything and what the hell is going on. Like the video, of course. Cop a shirt. It's in the bottom of the video. Or, I mean, it's in the description, by all means. It should be on the screen now, too. August 15th is the last day, and leave your feedback. I'd love to hear, but let's begin. So, let's say right now that all these Pokemon right now, all these runs right here are adapted into the Alola region. They're called the Alolan insert Pokemon. They're just the Alolan forms of these Pokemon. So they made new forms of Pokemon we've originally had, and it seems like the trend right now is that it's just Generation 1 Pokemon. I don't think it's only going to be Generation 1 Pokemon. I think they just kind of started off with these guys. I wonder why. I wonder what the concept was behind these. You know? I was gonna say maybe stones, but it seems like it's evolved by a stone. It says here some Pokemon have adapted to the distinctive microclimates of the Alola region, taking on different forms that they have in other regions. These Pokemon are called regional variants. Taking root in the Alola region, they live like native Pokemon. Region variant Pokemon can have different appearances and types, and their ways of living can also differ from that of the form previously known. Let's talk about all of them first. Let's talk about this weird ass Executor. And I really feel like maybe Shady might be right, because Shady made a video about Megas, and I was like, I wasn't against the video, but then I wasn't for it. Like, I think I told him on Twitter too, I was just like, you know what, dude? I wouldn't be surprised if they did it, but like, I'm not gonna agree with you right now. You know, I was like 50-50. But I think he might be onto something. I think my boy Shady might be onto something, because they could have easily made this Pokemon right here and all the other Alolans. They could have easily made the Mega Pokemon. Easily. No Vulpix, no Sandshrew, just the Ninetales and Sandslash and the Executor. They could have all been justified and called Mega Executor, Mega Sandslash, and Mega Ninetales. But they weren't. They're called Alolan Pokemon. They're different variants. Region variants. So it's like, are they really taking out Megas? Are they really? Let's talk about this nigga though. We all know he's a Pokemon. And he might weigh heavier than he actually was. He's like 916.2 pounds now. His ability is Frisk, so it's like, the ability is ass. It won't really help, I guess. Well, the only thing will help is like showing your opponents like items, but like, what the fuck? I don't know. It's ass. It's basically Gorgast's ability, right? But it's typing now. Grass Dragon. Now, what I want to know, because I've been seeing people tweet at me justifying, saying, oh, how does Sceptile become a dragon? My nigga is a gecko. He's already a lizard. Like, reptiles. Yeah. But like, they made a tree a dragon. And I think the best argument to this too is Gudra. He's like a slug. That slug became a dragon too, you know? And then Druddigon is like someone that like tried to draw within the lines and it became a dragon that they just failed, and that's the outcome. I don't know. I feel like they're just Pokemon is now BSing their way to try and give us dragons. But it basically says here, the environment of the Alola region, where strong sunlight pours down all year round, brought about this change in Executor's form. The people of Alola boast that the Alolan Executor is the true form of Executor. Ooh. I'm sick, so please bear with it. But this is the true form of Executor, so they say. Unlike other Executor, the Alolan Executor has a fourth head right there on the tail. Right there in the tail. Fourth head on its tail. The fourth head controls the tail independently and can take on opponents to the rear that can't be reached by the main head's attacks. This Pokemon excels at whipping its long neck like a lash to attack with its hard heads, but that neck can sometimes become a weakness. Chop that shit down! Get a scissor, bro! Executor as it has been seen in the past, so I guess is the comparison. So my nigga, it's like when a girl says don't. It's like when you kiss their neck and that shit just goes zing. I don't know, bro. I don't know. Let's see the next one. Now we're gonna talk about the Vulpix and Ninetales line. They just made a neutral ice. I wonder why. I actually would love to know the concept behind Executor becoming a dragon type. I can understand this becoming an ice type because it's just the polar opposite of what it is, you know? But it says right here, Snowcloak ability, which, I mean, I guess with hail would be nice. Otherwise, it's not really like... It would have been great if they had given it refrigerate, you know? But or like a new ability maybe, but they just gave it Snow Cloak. I wish they would have given it a better ice ability. But it says here, so it is said that Vulpix came to the Alola region with humans, but the fox Pokemon moved to the snowy mountain peaks to avoid normal habitats of other Pokemon, and thus it ended up taking on this form. These Alolan Vulpix live on high mountains that remain covered in snow year-round. They live in small packs of 2 to 5 individuals, helping one another survive. Alolan Vulpix can freeze solid by expelling. Oh, it can freeze anything solid by expelling a breath at a temperature of negative 58 degrees Fahrenheit, or for anybody else that doesn't live in America, negative 50 Celsius from its mouth. Hey, Vulpix, bring your ass here, girl. From its mouth. It doesn't fare well in the heat. When its temperature gets too high, it produces ice from its tail to lower the surrounding temperature. Charles Darwin, I know you're not alive, Charles Darwin, but are you reading this? Pokemon are evolving. This is evolution at its finest. Evolution, migration, the Charles Darwin theory of evolution right here and adapting. That is what Pokemon are doing. That's exactly what they're doing. There's a back-to-back right here. So, I mean, it looks really cool. I think give it a little little frillier up here instead of the sharpness. I guess to show that it's red hot and fiery. They give it a little frillier, and then it looks more like a snowflake here rather than actual flares. So that's pretty cool. Otherwise, it's essentially the same mon. The mouth is smaller too. Yeah, but otherwise, it's essentially the same mon. Very similar features. Inside of the ear, it's got little snowflakes in there. Otherwise, same patterns. I guess the belly is just now all one color now rather than 2. I guess that makes sense. Let's talk about the Ninetales though. Oh. Okay. We won't talk about Ninetales. I don't know what the hell just happened, see? Let's talk about this though. The Alolan Sandshrew. Can we talk about the Sandslash? We can't talk about the Sandslash. Let's talk about the Sandshrew first. He becomes an Ice Steel type with the same ability, Snow Cloak. They could have given it something better. Sandshrew has historically lived in desert areas, but the frequent eruptions of nearby volcanoes drove the Sandshrew to abandon the desert and migrate to snowy mountains, where they took on this form. Sandshrew's body changed to adapt the harsh environment of the snowy mountains. The Alolan Sandshrew has a shell of ice covering its skin, which is like hard steel. It excels defensively, but it lacks flexibility and can't curl its body into a ball like a ground-type Sandshrew can. I feel like this just means that it'll become slower, you know? But it becomes bulkier. Its heavy weight makes the Alolan Sandshrew slower than a normal Sandshrew. I just said that. But the claws on its hands and feet allow it to move across ice without slipping. When it wants to move quickly, it uses its stomach to slide across. Oh my god, like a curling rock. That's so cute! And then, obviously, yeah. This one's got that desert like stone pattern, and this one's like a, like the igloo pattern. Oh my goodness! Sorry, I'm sick. Bear with me. Yeah, essentially the same. Since the Alolan Sandshrew of the snowy mountains evolved into Alolan Sandslash with spiny backs that are covered in ice. Thanks to their icy coating, these spines are large and sharp. Alolan Sandslash hide themselves in the snow when strong enemies appear, leaving only their needles exposed and ready for business. Hey, so they bait and attack. The weight of the ice that covered its body makes these Alolan Sandslash heavier, again slower, and it causes them to be slow. I just continue reading. Yet in snowfields and on ice, they move by creating a path with their claws, and so they're able to move with swiftness. The sprays of snow kicked up by Alolan Sandslash's movement are so beautiful that many photographers head for the snowy peaks to capture the moment. Nice! What's that one guy that tried to get the picture of Articuno in the anime? I can't remember his name, but he should make a cameo. However, Sandslash live deep in the mountains, and there is a great danger of becoming stranded, so it's forbidden to climb the mountains without permission. So, he's deep in, essentially. My man is deep in there, and it's just looking like, no real humans, I guess, can come in contact with a Lowland Sandslash. Unless, of course, that, you have the habitat, but I think this is cool. The sharpen of his, little quail in his head just jumps up and becomes much larger than the other ones. The claws become sharper, obviously to climbing those mountains, like those snowshoes that help you walk into ice. So that's cool. That's definitely cool. I like that. Also, bear with me on drinking liquids. I'm very obviously sick. Those are essentially all the megas, or not the megas, the Pokemon. We got these new mons as well. Ooh, this is gonna be a long ass video. Bear with me, fellas. Bear with me here. Bear with me, right? Now let's talk about this. This one is pretty straightforward to talk about. He is what is it? What was the name of this? Mudsdale. He is Mudsdale's pre-evolution Mudbray. He's the same typing, ground typing, which Mudday is also 2,028 pounds. Are you heavy ass too? He's 242 pounds, so essentially the same thing. Mudbray could once be found all over the world, but it was overhunted and ended up in verge of extinction. Ah, he's almost extinct. It's said that the Alolan region is the only place in the world where Mudbray can still be found in the wild. Mudbray boasts superhuman strength, a surprise considering its small body. Mudbray can carry up loads up to 50 times its own weight on its back or dragging behind. I feel like this thing will also be defensive as well. And it can use a Violite? Oh god. Oh, and he has stamina? Oh god. Mudbray loves playing in the mud. It's easy to live in harmony with this Pokemon as long as you provide an environment where it can play in the mud. If it can't frolic in the mire, however, Mudbray will become stressed and may stop listening to orders and beat the shit out of you. Essentially, that's what they're saying. Let's talk about this thing because this Fomantis looks very, very cool. Abilities ass. Typing is okay. You know, it's weak to bug, fire, flying, poison. I think. Yeah, poison is grass. Yeah. 4 weaknesses so far. I'm gonna be missing one. Ice. 5 weaknesses. There you go. Yeah, it's 5 weaknesses. There you go. I feel like I'm forgetting one, but I haven't gone to bed yet, so please bear with me. It says Fomantis is nocturnal. Ha! Wow, ironic. And it performs photosynthesis while it is asleep during the day by spreading out its leaves in all directions. Because of the danger of staying in the same location 2 days in a row, Fomantis begins its search for the next day's spot as soon as the sun sets. For Fomantis, photosynthesis is not just a source of energy, it is a necessity to achieve the strength and brilliant coloration of its evolved form. Photosynthesis is precious to Fomantis, and it will fiercely attack those who get in the way of that process. Fomantis excels at long-range attacks like Razor Leaf and Solar Beam. Solar Beam is indeed a powerful move, but since it uses up the energy the Pokemon has stored up through photosynthesis, Fomantis rarely uses it. I think that's really cool though, how they have a mon that's literally like churning through the sunlight, because you know how like plants need that sunlight for photosynthesis, they use that to live. I like that because sun and moon, they're using all the small things like a werewolf mon, a bat for the moon, and then a mon that is afraid of the sun, you know, like shallow and everything like that, and afraid, and just one that abuses the sun to gain power like this. This could have easily been chlorophyll, but they gave it leaf guard. I don't know. Now this thing, the design for this thing right here, Lurantis, this is amazing. I love this design. It's like a badass praying mantis. It says right here, Lurantis draws opponents near to itself with its flower-like appearance and aroma, and then it takes them down. I'm sorry, I can't read it. Then it takes them down. It is said to be the most gorgeous of all grass-type Pokemon due to its brilliant coloration and elegant moves. Lurantis' appearances is maintained through detailed grooming. It will trust a trainer who does a good job of caring for it, but it will apparently have a difficult time growing close to a lazy oh my god, I'm so lazy, it won't like me, it won't like me at all. Lurantis can learn Solar Blade, a move that releases a blade-shaped beam to mince up its foes. The blade is so sharp it is said that it can slice a rock in half. Solar Blade is a move that no Pokemon has been able to learn before. With Solar Blade, Lurantis absorbs energy from the sun on the first move and then unleashes a powerful attack on the second turn. I'm assuming that it is basically a physical Solar Beam. Lurantis is the totem Pokemon of Lush Jungle, the site of an Akala Island trial. It will overwhelm trial goers with the powerful combos it unleashes the Pokemon as it calls. Yeah, we learned that totem Pokemon essentially are much larger Pokemon, like the evolved form, I'm assuming, which it did seem like because Gumshoos or whatever his name, Gumoose or whatever his name is, was there for Yungoos. So there's definitely that. If we go down to the one we're just talking about right now, Gumshoos, that's his name. One take. Stake Out, Strong Jaw, very similar abilities, nothing really changed there. No new stuff. It really seems like they're talking about just a basic evolution. It seems like a Rattata to Raticate evolution, where you're the very common rodent that'll be found within the generation, and then obviously, of course, the Raticate, which is the design-wise really isn't too much larger than it, like Patrat to Watchog, Sentret, the Ferret, like the design-wise, they don't really stray too far. They kind of stay with similar concepts, you know, except the Sentret, the Ferret. That it just got longer. They use a tail, you know. But it says here that Gumshoe's method of targeting prey is the exact opposite of Yungoose's strategy. While Yungoos prowl around, Gumshoes stake out its prey's usual routes and waits patiently for it to come by. Oh, my nigga is patient. You can tell from his Donald Trump looking ass, all patient ass, that you can tell that he is much more patient than this angry ass Pokemon. Gumshoes has a tenacious personality, which is why it targets one prey for so long without wavering. But when the sun goes down, it runs low on stamina, falling asleep right on the spot. The little things like this for Sun and Moon, the differences, how they use the sun and the moon, I love it. I absolutely love it. It's able to stay perfectly still while waiting for its prey. Keep watching without eating a thing. This thing is one of my favorites. Like top 5, this is one of my favorites right here because its ability is so good. Let's discuss. He's a meteor Pokemon. I knew he was a meteor the moment I saw him. And look at it, how cool he looks. Like when he comes, he looks like a little Kirby enemy, dude, like a Kirby friend, you know? He's cool as shit. With the Shield Down ability, he's like a foot. Wow. Minior are formed in the stratosphere and live by absorbing the detritus around them. When they've consumed a large quantity of particles, their bodies become heavy and they fall toward the planet's surface. Minior has a hard and heavy outer shell with a core inside it. The Meteor Pokemon seems to be made in such a way that if its shell breaks, it becomes lighter and can deal out quick attacks. Essentially, it's looking like it's like King Shield. Is it like its own version of King Shield? It looks like its own version of King Shield. When its shell breaks, the core in its center is revealed. You won't know what color it will appear until it happens. Oh, it's like a randomly generated color that it opens up on. Okay. Minior has the new Shields Down ability, which no other Pokemon has had before. They point this out all the time. With the Shields Down ability, it will have excellent defense capabilities as long as its shell is intact. Okay, so the defense is going to be stupid high. It will also be protected from status conditions. Hello? But when its HP drops below half, its shell will break and it will change to a form better suited to attacking. Oh my god! You can't burn, paralyze, put it to sleep, freeze it, paralyze? Oh my god! And if this thing like learns some like very like niche setup type of move, it would be really good. But I feel like what it's gonna be is it's gonna have like little to no HP. Like its defenses are gonna be good, but I don't really see the thing having a lot of HP because I always see a lot of mons where they gas up like how bulky they are and how defensive they are, and then they actually come out in the HP bar is almost like it's not there. Minior's core will change the color depending on the particular color of the debris it is absorbed. Its pastel coloration is a cute look. Such Pokemon is often used a design motive for clothing and accessories. Interesting! So it's kind of like Vivillon in a way. Yeah, that's cool. With all little different designs. Now we got all these birds. They're all essentially the same. So I'm not going to go into all of them. But I think my favorite one is the Sensu style because he is a ghost flying. And that's what I love the most. It's all the same description, see? So I guess I'll go to this one because I like this one the most. This one is cool as shit. It's all like kimono and everything too. Whereas this one is all like Mexican dancer. This is like white girl cheerleader. And this is like Hawaiian like hulu dancing, you know? It says your Oricorios. I don't think this thing is going to evolve. It's kind of like the Delibird of this generation where it's like, it's here for this like purpose, this concept of like the Hawaiian culture concept, you know? It's got the ability Dancer, and they all have different typings, whereas this one is electric flying, psychic flying, fire flying, and then my favorite one, ghost flying. We've never had this typing, and I love it. It says Oricorio changes its form by sipping the nectar of certain flowers. Since it has 4 different forms, the same as the number of islands in Alola, it would seem that different Oricorio forms live on each of the islands. The Sensu-style Oricorio is quiet and collected. By means of its dance, it gathers the spirit of drifting... I cannot talk! It gathers the spirits drifting about in an area and borrows their power to fight. People who migrated from Kanto feel a great liking for this Pokemon because its dance reminds them of their homeland. Oricorio has a new dancer ability that no other Pokemon has... Okay. If another Pokemon in the field uses a dancing move... Then like Swords Dance, Dragon Dance, I'm probably forgetting more, but you know. Then Oricorio will be able to use the same move immediately afterward, thanks to its dance. So its ability, meaning you can't set up Swords Dance on it, and you can't set up DD on it. So setting up SD or DD like DD Gyarados or SD Scizor, you can't, because it will instantly mimic and get the +2. Oh my god, that's busted. Oh no, that's busted. But these things won't have like the world's greatest stats. Like their ability is really good, but they won't have the world's greatest stats, you know? Yeah, I can't really see them being too good. Watch me regret that. You know? Going back though, since we just knocked out all the birds, right? I think we just did everything, didn't we? Yep, we just knocked out all the new mons. Now, what we're gonna talk about now is this right here, the trial captains and Kahunas each lines. I want to talk about these. So the trial captains right here, we have Lana as a captain who's an expert with water type Pokemon. It is a girl. I knew it was a girl. She is dedicated to her family and is a reliable older sister who watches over her younger sister. You know what she looks like? You remember Emily Elizabeth from Clifford? Remember that one Hawaiian dude? I think it was his sister or some. No, it wasn't his sister, but it was a girl in the show Clifford with the tiny eyes. She looks exactly like that. Each trial has a captain whose role is to provide guidance to its trial goers. All of the captains are trainers who undertook trials in their own island challenge a few years earlier. Oh my god, Mello is my favorite. She's too fine, bro. Captain Mello is an expert with grass type Pokemon. She loves cocking, but it seems that sometimes her taste is a bit I'm trying to taste you, girl. Get over here. Specializing in electric type Pokemon, Captain Sophocles is good with mechanics and has invented various machines. Look at him playing freaking Battleship with this Pikachu. Oh my god, his little electro keychain. I think it's so fucking cool. And his little collar is a Pikachu tail. That's so cool. This guy looks like Junkrat. If you guys have played Overwatch, he looks like Junkrat. In that leaked Litten Final Evolution, he looks kind of like that too. I don't know how to say his name. I'm gonna say Kiwi. Kiwi is a captain whose expertise is in fire-type Pokemon. Together with his Marowak. Oh my fucking god. Alolan Marowak is fire. You know those torch people in Hawaii that like spin those staffs with fire at the end? Oh no. Oh no. I'm gonna make a video about that. If you see anybody else make a video about that, it's not coincidence. They did it because of me. He studies the traditional dances that have been passed down in the Alola region. I want to talk about this too, because that's really interesting. Those are all like the right of the islands. They have here the totem pole. This would talk about sophisticated combos and SOS battles. All this new shit. They got grand trials. Found shrine on each island is called the Grand Trial. It is a Pokemon battle against the Kahuna. Is against the Kahuna who leads that island. If a trial goer succeeds in clearing a grand trial, he or she will be publicly recognized as having cleared all of the island trials and can move on to the next island. Essentially, there's no gym leaders on these islands, which I think is good. It'd be a little weird to have gym leaders on the islands. I mean, it's due for it, but I like this. I like this a lot. I like that there isn't any gym leaders because it's more RPG, and I'm heavy into RPG games. When Totem Pokemon battle, they summon allied Pokemon to join them. Oh, we already know about that. Totem Pokemon, at the end of each trial, a mighty Pokemon known as a Totem Pokemon will be waiting. A Totem Pokemon is much larger than the others out of its species, and its body is enveloped in a special aura. Yeah, we know about that already. We already know about the Islands trials. We just talked about that. I want to talk about is the Kahunas. Oh, so far, these are like the Kahunas. Each of the Alola's 4 islands has a leader called the Island Kahuna, and Kahuna is basically replacing the gym leader, and in the trials are basically what would be the gym battle. You do the trials over the gym battle, and the gym leaders then are the Kahunas, who governs the islands. Kahunas are chosen by the Pokemon known as guardian deities, which are also found in each island. So maybe this guy, Hala, is going to be using Tapu Koko, since we know that he actually talked about Tapu Koko, and from his attire, I want to say Tapu Koko. Hala is the Kahuna of Melemele Island, where you have just moved to. It is also your rival Hao's grandfather. Gary and Oak relationship. His skill is renowned in the Alola region. He gives you your first partner Pokemon and expects great things from you. Literally Gary and Oak. Literally Gary and Oak. And I think that's actually it with all the brand new information that we have learned today. We got so much information, so I'm sorry if this video is long, but I know a lot of you wanted a long, detailed analysis. So we got a lot of information today. Thank you guys for watching. I'd love to hear your thoughts on what you think of Sun and Moon. How do you feel about the gym leader drops and like what it's looking like? Mega Pokemon dropped for Kahunas and Trials and Alolan. Alolan region variant Pokemon. I'd love to know what you think about that down in the comments down below. Make sure to give the video a thumbs up if you're hyped for Sun and Moon. I am Numbnexus. Thank you for watching. I'm gonna get out of here. Goodbye.